I'm 73 years old, and I need to tell you something important. Everything you think you know about aging is completely wrong. And the worst part? Those who should have told you the truth, your parents, teachers, society, are either silent or don't know themselves. For the first 50 years, I believed in the same illusions you believe in now. I thought I had it all figured out. There was a career, a house, respect from colleagues. But at 52, something happened that shattered all my beliefs. And over the past 21 years, I've completely rethought life, death, and everything in between. I'm not making this video to stroke my ego or sound wise. I'm doing this because time is running out. And there are things you need to hear before it's too late. Not for me, for you. At 52, I had a heart attack. I was in a meeting discussing quarterly projections when the room suddenly started spinning. I woke up in a hospital bed with tubes in my arms, my wife crying in the corner. The doctor said I was lucky. Lucky. I had just come face to face with my own mortality, and he called it luck. But you know what? He was right. Because lying in that hospital bed with nothing but time to think, I realized something terrifying. My entire life had been on autopilot. I wasn't really living. I was just going through the motions, checking boxes, meeting everyone else's expectations. And here's what haunts me to this day. If I had died right then, what would I have left behind? A nice house? A retirement account? Achievements that nobody would remember in 5 years? Is that really what a life amounts to? You know the biggest lie you're telling yourself right now? I have time. I'll do it later. When I'm older, I'll live the way I want. I see people in their 20s, 30s, even 40s, and they all say the same thing. When I make more money, I'll be happy. When I get that promotion, I'll relax. When the kids grow up, I'll travel. When I retire, I'll finally do what I love. Let me save you 50 years of regret with one simple truth. That day never comes. You know why? Because the goalposts keep moving. You get the promotion. You need the next one. You earn more. You need even more. You're always chasing something just out of reach. And suddenly, you're 70, wondering where your life went. I did exactly that. Spent 30 years climbing the ladder. And when I reached the top, I realized it was leaning against the wrong wall. And you can't climb back down and start over. Time doesn't work that way. Here's what nobody tells you when you're young. Success is a terrible goal. I say this as someone who achieved everything I set out to achieve. Made partner at my firm, bought the house, earned the respect of my colleagues. And you know what? None of it mattered. You achieve your goal, feel amazing for about 48 hours. Then the feeling fades. You're back at square one. Now you need a new goal, a bigger achievement, more validation. It's a hamster wheel, and most people never get off. I had a friend who died 3 years ago at 68. Worked 70-hour weeks his entire life. Built a multi-million-dollar business. Never really took a vacation. Constantly said he'd slow down next year. Next year came with a stroke. At his funeral, his son said, "My father was successful, but I barely knew him." Is that the legacy you want? Your regrets won't be about what you did wrong. They'll be about what you didn't do at all. I don't lie awake thinking about failed business deals. That doesn't matter. You know what keeps me up at night? The trip to Japan I never took because I was too busy. The relationship with my brother that I let deteriorate. The book I always wanted to write but never started. The time I didn't spend with my kids because I was working late. That's what eats you alive. The missed opportunities. The roads not taken. The love you didn't express. The risks you didn't take because of fear. The conversations you never had. The moments you traded for money or status or something equally meaningless. The people you love or your parents, siblings, close friends, you think you have infinite time with them. You don't. And one day, that time will run out, and there's no negotiating with death. My father died when I was 45. We had a complicated relationship, and I was always too busy to work on it. I kept thinking we'd talk when things settled down. We never got that chance. Heart attack. Gone within hours. My biggest regret? All the Sundays I didn't call him. All the times I was too tired to drive over for dinner. All the little moments I let slip away because I thought there would always be tomorrow. There isn't always a tomorrow. After my heart attack, I made drastic changes. Stepped back from work. Started saying no to what didn't matter. Started saying yes to what I'd been postponing for decades. In these 21 years, I've learned more about life than in the previous 52. What matters is almost embarrassingly simple. Time with people you love. Meaningful work that aligns with your values. Experiences, not possessions. Creating memories. Being present in the moment instead of always planning for the next one. I know it sounds cliché. At your age, I would have rolled my eyes. Sure, but I have bills to pay. Yes, you do. I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow. I'm saying don't sacrifice what's important for what isn't. Don't trade your entire life for a paycheck and a title. Here's a question I want you to answer honestly. If you died tomorrow, would you be satisfied with the life you've lived so far? Not whether people would be impressed at your funeral, not whether you achieved enough, just satisfied? If the answer is no, then what are you waiting for? What are you doing that's so important you're willing to gamble your one precious life on it? What deadline is so critical that it's worth missing your child's recital? What meeting is so essential that it's worth sacrificing your health? I'm 73 years old now. I've been fortunate with my health since that heart attack. But every morning when I wake up, I know I'm living on borrowed time. We all are, really. But most young people don't realize this. They think they're invincible. They think they have forever stretching out before them. You don't. I have 3 grandchildren, and when I look at them, I see the same patterns I see in most young people today. The stress, the anxiety, the chase for things that won't bring happiness. They're making my mistakes all over again, and it breaks my heart. I try to tell them. I try to share what I've learned. But you know what? They don't really listen. Not because they're bad kids, they just can't. They're living in the storm right now. They can't see the patterns yet. They think their situation is unique, that the old rules don't apply to them, that they'll somehow be different. That's why I'm making this video. Maybe, just maybe, if enough people hear this message, someone will actually listen. Someone will make different choices. Someone will avoid the regrets that haunt people like me every single day. Every day, you're getting closer to death. Nobody likes to think about it, but it's the one absolute truth we all share. You don't have unlimited time. Neither do the people you love. Your parents, if they're still alive, are aging every single day. One day, sooner than you think, they won't be here. Your friends, your spouse, your children. No relationship lasts forever. So what are you going to do? Keep postponing that phone call? Keep delaying that trip? Keep telling yourself you'll make time later when things calm down? Or are you going to wake up today and start living with the awareness that time is limited? Because it is, and pretending otherwise is the cruelest lie you can tell yourself. If I could go back and talk to my 30-year-old self, here's what I'd say. Stop trying to impress people who don't matter. Stop sacrificing your health for your career. Your body will remember every slight, every missed meal, every sleepless night. Stop postponing joy until someday. Stop waiting for permission to live the life you want. Start calling your parents more often, even when the conversation is awkward. Start taking those trips you dream about instead of just adding them to your bucket list. Start doing the things that scare you. That's where real growth happens. Start saying no to obligations that drain your soul. Start saying yes to experiences that fill you up. And most importantly, start now. Not next year when you have more savings. Not after this project when things settle down. Not when you have more time or energy or whatever excuse you're telling yourself. Now. Right now. Today. Because I promise you, the perfect moment will never arrive. Life will always be messy, complicated, full of reasons to wait. Bills will always need paying. There will always be one more deadline, one more project, one more reason to postpone living. But if you wait, you'll wake up one day and realize you've waited your entire life away. I'm 73. If I'm lucky, maybe I have 10 or 15 years ahead, maybe 20 if fate smiles on me, probably less. And I'm at peace with that because these last 21 years have been the richest of my life. Not because I made more money, I actually made less, but because I finally started living consciously, appreciating each day, prioritizing what actually matters. I've traveled to places I always dreamed of seeing. I've deepened my relationships with my children and grandchildren. They actually know me now, not just the stressed-out workaholic I used to be. I've pursued hobbies I'd postponed for decades. I've forgiven people I held grudges against, and that lifted a weight I didn't know I was carrying. I've said, "I love you," countless times, and meant it every single time. I'm happier now at 73 with limited time ahead than I was at 30 when I thought I had forever. That's the irony. When you understand that time is limited, you actually start living. You stop wasting it on things that don't matter. You stop postponing joy. You start creating the moments you want instead of waiting for them to happen. You have a choice right now, today, in this very moment. You can keep living the way you're living, chasing success, postponing happiness, telling yourself you'll make time later when things settle down. Or you can wake up. You can realize that time is slipping away faster than you think. And the life you're waiting to live needs to start now. I can't make this choice for you. Nobody can. But I can tell you this. You don't want to be 73 looking back with regret about the choices you didn't make. You don't want to be surrounded by achievements and possessions while drowning in regret about the experiences you missed and the love you didn't express. Don't waste 52 years figuring this out like I did. Learn from my mistakes. Live intentionally. Prioritize what truly matters. Stop waiting for someday, because someday is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid living today. Someday is today. It always has been. It always will be. If this resonates with you, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment telling me what you're going to do differently. Subscribe, because I have more truths to share and not much time left to share them. The clock is ticking. Not just for me, but for you too. What are you going to do with your time?